Section 7, energy-related organelles. There are two in the cell that we're going to talk about, the chloroplast and the mitochondria. We're going to talk about chloroplast first. Chloroplasts are unique, the chloroplast and the mitochondria are unique in that they have a double membrane. Okay? The inner membrane of the chloroplast is folded and it forms discs, kind of like coins, that are called thylakoids. When they are stacked up, that structure is called a grana. So whenever it looks like a stack of coins, it's a grana, and they are suspended in a fluid called the stroma. Now don't freak out, we're going to go into a lot more detail later on this year. Right now that we're just introducing the organelle. Chloroplasts are green due to a pigment called chlorophyll. They actually appear to be green because they absorb all other colors of visible light and reflect back green. Chlorophyll is only found in the inner membrane of chloroplast. Here we have a chloroplast, a drawing of it. So here we have our thylakoids stacked into grana, and here we have a mitochondria. Chloroplasts are membranous organelles. They're a type of plastid. That's the category that chloroplast and mitochondria are in. They capture light energy, and they do photosynthesis, where they take carbon dioxide and water and use sunlight to create sugar. They are used to make sugar molecules. Energy-poor compounds are converted into energy-rich compounds, and then they can be stored in the form of starch or sugar and used by the plant later on. Chlorophyll, located in the thylakoid membrane, they have enzymes there as well that act as the catalyst for these chemical reactions to occur. Only plants, algae, and cyanobacteria are capable of doing photosynthesis because they are the only organisms that have the green pigment necessary to do it. The endosymbiotic theory describes how eukaryotic cells engulfed photosynthetic bacteria, and we're going to talk more about that later in the chapter. So here is an actual image of a chloroplast using an electron microscope. Notice it is in fact green. Okay, the pigments are here in the double membrane, the inner membrane of the chloroplast, making it look green. Mitochondria. Mitochondria are in every eukaryotic cell. Okay, they're in plants, they're in algae, they're in animals. It's a little bit smaller than a chloroplast, and the number of them in each cell depends upon what type of cell they're in. Liver cells may have as many as 1,000 because they need a lot of energy. Mitochondria actually have their own ribosomes and their own DNA. Scientists can trace parentage through the maternal line, through your mother. They can track the DNA, which I think is pretty cool. The mitochondria is surrounded by a double membrane. The inner membrane surrounds something called the matrix, which is a convoluted, folded membrane that forms something called the cristae. Inside the matrix is an inner semi-fluid substance containing enzymes, whose job it is to break down sugar molecules, carbohydrates. And this process of breaking down carbohydrates is called cellular respiration. It requires oxygen and gives off carbon dioxide. And it makes a substance called ATP, which is the energy that all cells use. And here we have a electron microscope image of a mitochondria, and here we have an artist rendering. Now don't freak out about all of the structures. We're going to go into much more detail later on this year whenever we talk about cellular respiration. That's it for this section. If you have questions, let me know.